Hello there everyone. Today I'm going to tie a small dryfly. This is going to be a black ant, a pattern that works very well for most conditions. The hook size I'm using here is 12, but I've had the best results with the size 16. But the 12 is in honor of you, because then it will be a lot easier for you to see what I'm actually doing. I'm taking some, I'm going to use some black foam, some pearl crystal flash, some black fly rod, and of course a black dryfly hackle. A fairly easy, very productive fly. First of all, I'm tying down all this foam just all the way down here, and if it looks a bit messy, then that's quite alright, because, well, this doesn't matter much. Like so. I want this to be a bit far down on where the hook starts to bend. Then I'm taking some of the black dubbing I have here. Again, I'm using fly ride because fly ride is a great dubbing for dry flies. Applying a small amount of this to the thread, and then covering my tracks here, making a small hump of dubbing up towards the halfway up to the hook. To the eye of the fly, the eye of the hook. Taking a bit more dubbing, like so. And now I'm approximately at where I want to be. Then I turn over the. Gonna go a bit further up, I think, to make the well, to make the back side of this fly the longest, or the body part in the back a bit longer than the front body. This is better. I'm gonna tie this down here, like so. And then I'm taking some flash strands. This will make the fly a lot more visible for the angler, but it also will look like the wings. So this is actually, well, this is actually a flying ant. Taking a small bundle of crystal flash in pearl, and just putting it on the thread, like so, so I can drag it exactly where I want it, and I want this to be exactly on top of the fly. Folding this a bit backwards, like that, and then I'm gonna take my dryfly hackle. There are two very good dryfly hackle producers in well, in the world. There are Keogh and there are Whiting, and both are magnificent at what they do. And what you're looking for when you're looking for the perfect dryfly hackle is you want a hackle that has an enormous amount of I don't know if it's called feather strands or what it's called, but you want a lot of these hackle fibers on your hackle. The next thing you're looking for is you want a hackle that has you want a cape that has a lot of feathers. And the third, and maybe the most important thing of all, is you want a hackle that has a very thin hackle stem, because if you don't have a thin hackle stem, then you can't make good looking dry flies. It's nearly impossible. So like that. And then I'm turning the hackle, just turning like 6 or 7 times, something like that, between the foam and all this stuff. And then I'm taking my thread and making some turns just in the middle of all this mayhem here. And then I try to hold everything back except the hackle and make one final turn. Then I'm going to cut off the hackle. Hold everything as far back as I possibly can. This is of course a bit difficult. Because the hackle strands are fairly short. Taking some more dubbing. The beauty about this fly, if it's tied in size 14 or 16, is well, when I'm tying it, I want it to look like an ant. But what it really looks like when it's laying in the surface is, well, basically most everything that is small and black and drowned. And that is a lot of potential beetles and stuff like that that has those exact characteristics. So this fly is very good for imitating all sorts of small beetle-like insects, and of course also imitating an ant. So finally, I've got all the way up to the eye of the hook, cutting off the foam. And if you have the nerve for it, just pull the foam a bit when you cut it off. That will make a clean cut, making a whip finish. Cutting off the thread, and then finally cutting this wing into the size I want it to be. Like that. There you have it, a small black ant that tied in size 16 can look like, well, almost anything. Those were the words. Thank you for listening.